Assalamu alaikum everybody, this is your Arabic teacher Sam and a very warm welcome back to the Arabic with Sam channel. I pray that you guys are very well and in the best of health. So we have a very pressing matter to discuss today. So we have the question come in, how to study Arabic, how to study in Ramadan. I was always a bit too ambitious with how much studying I'd get done in Ramadan. I'd always kind of think, oh, this will be my study month. But when it comes to it, when you're not eating or drinking or anything, you know you're lacking. So if it's difficult to get motivated to study anyway, then I'm not sure what would change in the month of Ramadan. If anything, it'd just be harder in Ramadan, right? But I do have a few tips for you. I do have a few things that I can tell you, inshallah. So number one is to have a direct approach to actually what you want to learn, right? Like I would say in the month of Ramadan, directly go for Quranic language, right? Directly go for that, because you're not really going to be able to like build your skills massively in the month of Ramadan, right? Like you want to benefit from the Arabic that you learn in Ramadan, right? Like this isn't really the time for us to be, um, you know, the, you know. It is still good to be making progress with your grammar courses, and it is still good to be doing that. You absolutely should be doing that. I still want students on my program to be making progress through the month of Ramadan, right? But mainly I would advise students to like focus on stuff that you can benefit from right now, right? And I would say learning Quranic vocabulary is the best thing to do, right? Because you can sit down and you can, learn 5 words a day or something of like Quranic vocabulary, and you will immediately taste the fruits of that when you go to Taraweeh at night, or just when you sit with the Quran, right? If you don't pray Taraweeh or whatever, right? Like you will directly experience the benefits of that in the month of Ramadan, and it will sweeten your experience of the month of Ramadan, and that needs to be the priority right there and then, right? Next thing would say to study either early in the morning, like after you've just eaten, or after a nap, right? Like you will need a little bit more kind of energy just to focus on stuff, really. I think, like, to get the most out of your studies, study for like 20 minutes like, after you've had a nap, or like, yeah, or just in the morning, alhamdulillah, like I have the blessing and the luxury that I don't have a boss who sort of forces me to go into work at 9 a.m. So I can kind of eat and pray Fajr and stuff, and then I can stay up in the morning until whenever, and then I can sleep in between the Salah in the afternoon and stuff. So like if you have that luxury, if you have that available to you, then you could then do that, inshallah. Like after you've prayed your Fajr or whatever, then you can use that time to study, because it's just like studying any other time of your life, right? Like you've just eaten, you've got energy and everything like that, right? Um, Another thing I'd say, I didn't kind of note this down, but another thing just on that is something that I would say is that fasting isn't that bad, man. Like, fasting really isn't a big deal. Like, I think we really, really go overboard, and I know, like, especially like, well, like I know that my like non-Muslim family, they seem to think that the idea of not drinking water for a few hours means you'll die. Like they seem to think that if you don't stuff your fat neck every few hours, you might die. But humans are very, very able to perform optimally without eating for a day, like very, very capable of that. Like it's really not a big deal. Like a lot of finding fasting easy is just changing your mindset and understanding that no, your body's okay with this. Like in the beginning, it does take you a few days to like get used to it, but really, like, by the time you've had your first week of fasting, I don't really think there's any reason to not be able to just go about your life almost normally. Like by the last 10 days of Ramadan, I go to the gym. I lift big weights when I'm fasting, like in the afternoon, or sometimes even like I've been fasting for 16 hours, no water or food, and I'll go to the gym and I'll lift big heavy weights, and I'm fine. I mean, absolutely fine, like because you've had that amount of time practicing it and stuff, and yeah. So that's just another thing to sort of change your mindset a little bit, and even like a lot of people, the Muslims and the non-Muslims, sometimes you'll wake up in the morning, just any time of the year, and you'll forget to have breakfast. You go to work, and then you'll be busy or school or whatever. And then like I remember loads of times when I was at school, when I was like 14 or 15, I'd get up in the morning, I'd go and do my paper round, and I'd forget to have breakfast, and then I'd go straight to school. And I never had lunch at school. Like I just wanted to play football in my lunch break, so I just played football, and then I'd come home, and I probably wouldn't eat until like 6 or 7 o'clock. So I maybe wouldn't eat for like 20 hours, and I barely noticed it sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like if you keep yourself busy and you're occupied and stuff, like it's really not a big deal. So next thing is the next thing to say on that note is don't don't sort of have massive expectations for your progress for it. Like I know I just said that it's really not a big deal, right? But what the fasting isn't the problem, right? It's that you should be focusing on the Quran, right? Like focusing on your entire Arabic language learning journey as a whole isn't as important as just focusing on the Quran, right? Like I would say direct your Arabic language learning studies towards, you know, towards Quran more, right? Like that's what I'd recommend. So don't pressure yourself too much to be achieving more. Like if you're on my program, don't be pressuring yourself to do another 5 steps in the program, or whatever, in that month, like you might normally. You know, don't put that pressure on yourself. Like that month is about the Quran. Like Ramadan is about the Quran. Yeah, and then that was the last thing that I mentioned. Yeah, Quran only focus. I think is I think is the right way to use your energy, use your study energy is towards the Quran, and use this as an opportunity to spot the grammar and the vocab that you've learned in the Quran. Use it as an opportunity for that. Like if you do revise something, you revise a jumla ismiyya, or you revise al-fi'l al-ajwaf or whatever, right? You use that time to like to spot it in the Quran. Like that's what you should use it for. Like the month of Ramadan should really be heavily focused on learning the Quran, inshallah, and directing your Arabic studies towards that. So that's everything. There was just a few little notes, a few little things that I wanted to mention, inshallah, about that. So that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, then don't forget to like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the little bell as well to get notifications too. That helps me out a lot. So yeah, so that's it. That's it for this video. If you have any questions you'd like me to answer about learning Arabic, in these little sessions that we do every week, these particular videos aren't really about teaching Arabic. It's about getting your mindset right and stuff, and having the right kind of focus and stuff for your Arabic language learning journey, in case you've kind of got things that you're confused about, or things that are, there are some cobwebs in there. So let's end the video there, inshallah, guys. You have a really, really nice day, inshallah. May Allah bless you guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. The Arabic in 60 Steps program is a step-by-step online Arabic course, which takes you right from learning your very first few words in the Arabic language and putting them together to make simple sentences, right the way up to knowing over 1,000 Arabic words, and being able to access texts like the Quran, Hadith literature, and even Arabic poetry. The minute you join, you have immediate access to the video course and over 100 bonus resources. I'll put your premium printed and bound workbook in the post for you, first class that very same day. Wherever you live in the world, we'll get one out to you at no extra cost whatsoever. And you'll also get 6 months of one-to-one mentorship from one of our graduate level mentors. Just to give you some of the names of the mentors that we have. First, we have our brother Mohammed, who's actually been a guest on the podcast. He's actually a graduate himself of the Arabic in 60 Steps program, so he knows it like the back of his hand. But we also have our brother Ismail Beaumont, who's the founder and the creator of Maysur Arabic. It's an enormous privilege to have him as one of the mentors on the program. And then for the sisters, we have our sister Maymoon, who's actually from Singapore originally, but spent a number of years studying in Syria. She's a very, very high-level Arabic graduate, mashallah. So, the course is an investment. We need to tell you it is an investment. It needs to be, so that we know the students that we're getting are serious. And you know that the teachers and the instruction that you're getting is serious, and we're going to get the job done. So, although students normally have to pay thousands of pounds to get this volume of resources and support and to have it so flexible and such high quality provided for them, we actually only charge £497, and that's for lifetime access, by the way. And what's even better is that we do actually have a few different payment plans available to help students spread the cost if needs be. I mean, look, come on. Thousands of people out there are spending way over £50 a month on coffee and takeaways. Using that money for a few months to learn Arabic instead is a seriously good deal. To find out more, to have a personal phone call with me for half an hour to see if it's a good fit for you and to see how we can get you on the program, just go to www.arabic60steps.com. Hope to hear from you guys soon.